Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's session where we will be discussing how to go about the UN career portal as your first step to be able to secure a job with the UN. It's going to be a very informative session, and I'm going to just heavily take you through the UN career portal. It's actually a new career portal, and so you will be able to learn a lot. I'm looking forward to having you throughout this session, engaging, asking your questions, and being able to give you as much value as possible. So let me know in the chat where you're joining us from. I think I should just, come here. So let me know in the chat, where are you joining us from? And what is your expectation from today's session? I know we are early, about 5 minutes early. So if you're watching the replay, you can just skip the next 5 minutes and get when we are starting off with the training. This is also the point where I do some quick mic check, confirm you can see me, you can hear me, you can see my presentation right here, and we go on. So let me check the comments here. Are you ready? I think that is the first thing I'll just ask, and if you're ready, just drop that in the comments and I'll be very happy just to engage with you. If you're following us on LinkedIn, I would suggest jump over to YouTube. That is where I can easily see your comments, or you can also follow through on Facebook. Yes, so let me tell everyone that we are up here live and running, and throw in your comments, throw in your feedback to know, so that I can know how we are faring on right away. When you feel stuck, it is a signal. It's a signal that you need to change. It is a signal that you have stopped growing. Feeling stuck is normal. Feeling stuck is one of the most universal human experience. The difference is how you deal with it. And for you to grow, you need to make some changes. And for you to make these changes, the brain does not like change. It likes the status quo. Because for the brain, change means that you're going to die. And in the fear zone, it is not a place where you really stay for a long time. You have to make a decision. Are you going to fall back into the comfort zone? Or are you really going to push yourself into the learning zone? To some people, it makes them not be able to do anything. It makes them feel paralyzed. But for some people, if they take the right action, if they know how to deal with it, it actually makes them thrive. They can actually say, the reason that I have grown or gotten to where I am right now, it's because of that feeling that I had of being stuck, but I did something about it. That is our ancestral brain that knows anything that is outside the normal things that we do will make us die. But we know that you're not going to die by changing your job. You're not going to die by stopping a relationship that is not working for you. We know that you're not going to die if you decide to start cutting down on your expenses because the finances are not working for you, and start saving and doing some changes within your personal finance space. In the learning zone, that is where the growing really takes place. And especially in career change, trying to do things that you haven't done before, maybe a job role that you haven't done before, but it does not mean that you don't have the skills, but you just need someone to really guide you. You learn and you actually get to the growth zone where you achieve your goals. You go way over and above what you even thought would be capable. Once you know that your brain is not there to make you feel happy, it's there to help you survive. And whenever you introduce change to it, it goes to what I call the what if mode. And what if mode, you start thinking, what if it doesn't work? What if I'm wrong? What if I'm making a big mistake? And then you do nothing about it. And you remain in what I call the comfort zone. It might not be very comfortable, but because you know your way around it. He's an abusive boss. It is a job that really doesn't pay you well, but after all, I have a job. I should be grateful. I'm not saying that's bad. Yeah, I should be grateful. But are you growing? Whenever you have that feeling that you're stuck, know you need to grow. So, because I can tell you that if you're sitting there feeling stuck, waiting for someone to come and save you, here's the bad news. Nobody is coming to save you. Nobody. It is up to you to start taking control of your own life. And here's the opportunity to take control of your own life, to start living life by your own terms and conditions. It is by you deciding that I will do whatever it takes. It might be hard, but I know the outcome is worth the effort and time and energy that I'm putting on right now. So I have a suggestion for you. I want to help you through this process of you changing your career. I want to help you through this process of getting unstuck in that job that you've stayed there longer than you should because you're no longer growing. And I want to, introduce this idea for you to make a change. I know it will be scary at first, but the thing is, you will never grow in your comfort zone. And I want to introduce you or give you an opportunity to really start pushing yourself to a point where you want to see these changes happening. And if it is scary, that's a good thing. Being scared, feeling that fear is not bad. Actually, it's said, courage is not the lack of fear, but acting despite the fear. You need to get outside your comfort zone. No growth takes place in the comfort zone. Now, this is what I mean, comfort zone. You might say, I don't like my job, it is stressful, bad boss, bad working environment, I really want to get out of this place, but the reason why you haven't gotten out of that place long enough, 5 years, 10 years, is because it is your comfort zone. You know the ropes. Low risk, low reward. And it is said inside it is doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results. Why not take a different set of action? As much as it is different from what you have been taking, you can be sure you will get different results. I want to invite you to join the Career Change Coaching Program. This is a one-on-one coaching program that I'll be taking you through. And the first thing that we'll do is to do a Career 360 assessment. And this assessment will be able to really identify your professional profile, what really works best for you in terms of your skill set, in terms of your attributes, in terms of your personality, your temperament, your whole being, like all rounded. And I've seen people getting to know some things about themselves and they're like, whoa, and now I understand why I really thrive in doing this kind of tasks and really struggle doing something like this. And then after that, we'll go through coaching sessions, one-on-one. We'll discuss what are some of the things that are actually holding you back. Then we become very clear in terms of what is your career goal. We'll create a plan on how to get there. Identify the obstacles that are holding you back. Some are mental. Most of it, I'll tell you they're here and we'll be able to uncover them. And then we create that plan on how do we get to that level. I'm looking forward for you joining us. If you're interested, book a free career coaching call with me. The link is in the description, careerpoint.co.ke/book a call. And by taking that first step of even like booking for the coaching call, that may be that single step that you need to get you unstuck, because you start taking control of your life. You start feeling like things are under control. You are the one defining your own future. You're not leaving it to the elements of nature and destiny and hoping that you will get there. You don't need to be stuck forever. It is not right for you to leave this earth when you haven't fully utilized your full potential. Just because you felt stuck, but you didn't ask for help. Asking for help is the first step. I'm here to help you. Take the action. Join the Career change coaching program. Let me help you get unstuck and live the life of your dreams, working on a project that you're passionate about. You're not only getting the monetary benefits, but you're also having an impact in the community, in your line of work, in what you feel you are called for to do on this earth. Get over that fear zone by taking action rather than retreating back to your comfort zone, to the learning zone, getting help, getting coached. And finally, you get to your growth zone where you thrive. You achieve your objective, you set new goals, and you really thrive. And you live the life that you are called for. You live your purpose. You get seen for who you really are and what you are capable of. Career Change Coaching Program. Book a free coaching call with me. Head over to careerpoint.co.ke/book call. You get an opportunity for you and me to discuss, like, where are you at currently in terms of your career? What is it that you're looking out for? And how can I be able to come in and help you get there? Don't let this chance pass you. You have limited slots. I can only help a certain number of people in any given time. And I want you to be part of that group that I'm helping currently. Book that call now. See you there. What's up, everybody? Yeah, thank you. I think I was just sorting out the technical stuff, and thank you for being here with us. I really appreciate it. Let me do a quick roll call before I get started. I want to appreciate Mark, who's joining us all the way in Zambia. I'm happy to see that we are going all the way. Rata, I didn't understand. Maybe Maseru, that is where you're joining us from. Karibu Sana. Kate Muli joining us all the way in Kilifi. Yeah, you're following through Facebook, but I can see you're commenting on YouTube, but I'm happy to have you. There's Abdi Hakib Abdullahi. We were with you last week. Id Karim? Yeah, is it Id Karim? Yeah, you're currently breaking the fast. I'm happy to see that you're there. Josephine also joining us in Limuru, Karibu Sana. I really appreciate that. Who else here? We have Camila. I've been wanting to work at the embassy in Kenya. Would you please do a video on that? Yes, I can do a video on how to get to the embassy. But today, our discussion is fully focused on how do you get started with the UN jobs. And without further ado, I think let's get started, right? Let me play this and we get started right away. Welcome to today's session where we will be looking at how do you get a job with the UN. We will be looking at the UN career portal, what you need to know, where you need to get started, and lots to cover. So let me get straight here. So I am sharing with you, this is a live I am presenting the UN website, the UN career website. So if we are together, if you go to careers.un.org, this is where you will land. And once you're there, you can see everything they have to do about their careers, telling you work with the United Nations, discover more about the United Nations and how you can be able to join. They have a video showing how the workforce is like, people sharing their experiences working there. And they also have some important links down here, and I'll just go through some of them. You can see the Young Professionals Program, the UN Workforce Data, Competitive Examination for Language, and all this. So we will start right on top here, and I want you to take a look at the UN workforce. You can read through this. The most asked question when it comes to UN jobs is how much do they pay? And it is clearly indicated here on their website. But it will make more sense if you understand the different groups, because you can see as they talk here about the pay and benefits, the United Nations offers you an attractive remuneration package with competitive pay and benefits. Now, the level of pay for staffs in the professional and higher categories that are recruited internationally is set by reference to the highest paying national civil service. So staff members in categories that are locally recruited are compensated in accordance to the best prevailing conditions of service among other employers in the locality. So there's a difference between which kind of position you will get, and we will come back. We'll see how much is the pay for professional and higher category. We'll see how much does the general and related category get paid. But the first thing would be, what are these categories? Where do you fall? And for you to get that information, you'll just go up here and see career options. Now, as you can see from the website, I think I might need to zoom a little bit here so that we can go together, and you can see the categories. The United Nations workforce is made up of different categories of staff. Within each category, there are different levels, which reflects increasing levels of responsibilities and requirements. That is okay. Where am I? So these levels reflect different levels of responsibilities and requirements. The information in this section will help you decide for which category you see yourself being best fit in. This will be useful when you start searching and applying for a job. There are different categories, and these are the main categories. The first one is what we call the professional and higher category, and they will be indicated by letter P and D. Then we have the general service and related category, which will be indicated or be shown by the letter G, TC, there's S, PIA, LT. Don't worry about them. You don't need to cram all of them. I'll just show you how you can identify that. And then we have the National Professional Officer, that is the NO, Field Service, FS, and then we have Senior Appointments, which will be SG, DSG, USG, and ASG. So where do you fall? If you scroll down here, so let's look at the professional and higher category. Under the professional and higher category, these as P and D are normally internationally recruited and are expected to serve at different duty stations throughout their careers with the organization. So openings for professional jobs can be found at all duty stations across the globe, wherever they have the UN Secretariat. And the level of education is also something that is of importance, and I want to show you here. So the entry level for this section will be P2, will be minimum 2 years of working experience. No experience is required if applying for the Young Professionals Program. Yeah. So the Young Professional Program also fall under this part. And the other thing you need to know, P3, this will be someone who has 5 years of experience and above. Then we have the mid-level professional, that would be the P4. Minimum would be 7 years of experience that is needed. A P5 would be someone with at least 10 years of experience. Then we have what they call the senior level professionals. Here, this is the P6 and D1, minimum 15 years of experience. And we have P7, D2, more than 15 years of experience. And you can see, irrespective of whichever level of interest you have, you can be able to fall in this category, either the entry level or the senior level, which is well explained right there. Let's look at language professionals. Now, there's another category of language professionals, And the United Nations is one of the largest employers when it comes to language professionals and welcomes application across the globe. The first step is for you to apply for a very competitive examination for language, and you will see some of the language that they are always looking out for. There is Arabic, Chinese, English, French, Russia, Spanish. Yeah, all these are languages that they are always looking out for. The other category I would also want to bring to your attention would be the Young Professionals Program. This is another opportunity for you to, especially at entry level. The United Nations has this YPP, which is a recruitment initiative for talented and highly qualified professionals to start a career as an international civil servant with the UN Secretariat. And it consists of an entrance examination process and the professionals development once those who are successful start once they join this. So in this program, there's a whole link here where you can go check when does it start, when do they do the recruitment and all that. Another category that I want to bring to your attention would be the Junior Professional Officers Program. It is a bit different from the YPP, as here, if you are a skilled graduate with energy, enthusiasm, and eager to develop your skills and knowledge of the multilateral systems, the United Nations Young Professionals Officer, that is JPO program, is for you. Formerly, it used to be called Associate Expert Program. And there's enough information on how you can be able to join, which countries are participating, and all that. So you can see the main areas that they focus on. The following disciplines are some of those considered by donor countries for the United Nations JPO. That would be political science, social sciences, law, human rights, project management. There is public administration, economic affairs, environmental affairs, and gender affairs. The next category is now what we call the field officers category. Staff in the field service category are normally recruited internationally to serve in different missions. You are expected to be highly mobile and to serve in different locations during your careers. And in this space, members will provide administrative, technical, logistic, and other support to United Nations field service. And there are 4 levels here, as you saw. There are 4 levels, which is FS4 all through to FS7. Yeah. So SF4 minimum is 6 years experience. Here, 8 years of experience. 6 will be 10 years of experience, and FS7 is minimum of 12 years of experience. So here you need to have a lot of experience in your area. Then there's also the National Professional Officer, the NO. Yeah. And all you need to do here is know that there are 5 levels in the National Professional Officer, A through to E. The highest level, the most responsibility the job requires, and the more work experience you will need. As you can see, going down there, minimum 1 year experience, you can join at level A, and over 7 years of experience at level 7. And I also want to look at the general service and related, because again, most people who are looking for job will fall under this. You can see there are jobs in all the 9 job networks, and we'll see what are the different job networks. There's economic, social and development, information and telecommunication, technology, international security and safety, legal, logistics, transport and supply chain, management and administration, political, peace and humanitarian, public information and conference management services. So that one of the things that I try to mention here, or try to encourage people, is that irrespective of whichever course you have done, you will still find a section or a department that will still fit you, because it's just like any other business. They have so many of all the different departments. So ask yourself, where do you fit in? Let me continue. and check at. So here you can see there is some security check that you will need. You will look at the qualification for this level. I really wanted to check this. Okay, you can see the internship, because there's the internship and there's the volunteer program. And if you're just starting off, this will be a good place. If you don't have a job, volunteering program also will be a good place for you. And I would want you to take time to go visit the website and learn more. You can see an internship at the UN could be an ideal start if you are considering a career in the organization. And so they do advertise a lot of internships, and we will see how you can be able to see one. Who can apply for an internship? Anyone who is enrolled in their final year of an undergraduate university program, either a bachelor's program, someone who is enrolled in a graduate program, that would be master's, PhD, or a recent graduate with a university degree. So if you're in your final year, if you have just finished, you can still apply for the internship. Then the job will be advertised. You will see if it is full-time or part-time. And most people will ask, will they pay? Will I get paid as an intern? Here's the thing. Our member states have decided that the UN Secretariat cannot provide financial compensation to interns at this point, but conversations are ongoing. Some UN agencies, though, do offer internship positions with various types of monetary support. And that will include some allowances, transport allowances. So they don't really say that you are earning a salary. They are not paying you, but they're just giving you maybe certain monetary support. And it depends with the agency, the position, and all that. So you can learn more about the internship. And you can see here, as an intern, you might go into the general service, consultancy position, professional and higher, and also, field service. I think I had mentioned that. If not, then you can go for the volunteers program. And every year, up to about 10,000 people are actually qualified and get experience in the global citizen as global citizens and are deployed across 160 countries as volunteers. There is a whole website they have here. I will encourage you to go to it. It is just UN volunteers. I think unv.org, which will show you all the opportunities. Probably later on, we might come and check and see what are the available opportunities and all that. There are temporary jobs, and we also have senior appointment. This will be someone who has tons and tons of experience. So at least now we understand the different categories. You can ask yourself, do I fit in any of them? Probably. We will see. And you can see all the information right here on their website when you go to this tab to career options. I want to pause here and see, do we have any questions so far? Do we have any questions so far? Are you finding value out of this? And probably what would you want to know? Because the next bit, I want to talk about the package, the salaries and all that. And then we can go and do a real job search and see how do you see one, how do you apply? And then we can go back to the questions. Thank you very much. Agada Mwende joining here in Nairobi, Kenya. Karibu sana. I really appreciate you. I can see there's someone all the way in Bangladesh. Welcome. Buenas Tivo, M Creative, watching from Kinangop. Good job, good job. I don't think there are questions. But so far, so good. Are we getting value? Just checking on you. I like having my sessions very interactive so that I don't leave you behind. And I want to have as many people on board as possible. Are we together? Are we good? If so, just give me some thumbs up, comment. If you're on LinkedIn, I might not be able to get your comment, but if you jump to YouTube, it will be easier. So let me go to the next thing about now pay and benefits. Now, once you know the different categories, it will make sense for you when it comes to the pay and benefits. Allow me to zoom a little bit in. So this is where we start. What is the salary for hire and professionals and hire? So here's the thing. In the professional and higher categories, you are normally recruited internationally. You will receive a salary which is paid on the basis of the worldwide scale, and benefits which take account on your dependents and the cost of living on your duty station. So there are two ways in how this amount is calculated. The first one is the base salary. They will tell you this is your base salary. And then on top of that, there's what they call the post adjustment. And post adjustment basically considers where are you living, what is the cost of living in that area, what are your dependents, and the rates are just right here in this other site called the International Civil Service Commission website, and they can easily show you how you calculate it. Now, there are other benefits that you get if you're in this section, which would include rental subsidies, dependency allowance under certain conditions, and education grant if you are eligible, if you have eligible children in school. So here, you don't necessarily need even to pay school fees for your children if you're eligible. There will also be some benefits to do with the travel, shipping expenses where you are moving from one duty station to another, settling in to assist you meet initial extraordinary cost when you are arriving in the new location. At some duty station, there's also hardship allowance. There's danger pay and rest and recuperation breaks when you serve in locations where the conditions are particularly hazardous, stressful, and difficult. There is a repatriation grant as applicable and mobility incentives. Other benefits that you still get would be holiday and leave. Oh my God, I think I've been going through all this and I had not returned this to the big scale. Let me just then scroll through very quickly. Yeah? So we were looking at this. There's the basic pay and the post adjustment. What are the benefits? All this. We have talked about rental subsidies, allowance, dependency allowance. If you have eligible dependent like spouse or children, they also go ahead and explain under certain conditions you might get education grant if you have eligible children in school. There's also travel and shipping expenses when you're moving from one duty station to another. They will also give you what they are calling the setting in to assist you when you are meeting some extraordinary initial cost. You know, when you are leaving or getting to a new place, there are certain costs that are one time, but yeah, extraordinary. In some duty station, you might also get hardship allowance linked to living and working conditions, is paid, and where they are restricted to bring family members, and non-family service allowance is also provided. Yeah, there are some places you might not be able to bring your family, so you will be compensated for that. Danger pay and rest and recuperation breaks. There is repatriation grants as applicable and also mobility incentives. On top of that, you have holiday and leaves. There is also health insurance, and there is also retirement pension. If you have you have an appointment of 6 months or more, then you are able to join the UN Joint Staff Pension Fund. So quite a good deal, right? You would say. Now let's look at general service and related categories. Now here, staff members in these categories are normally recruited and paid on local basis. You will be paid a salary according to the local salary scale. The salary scales are reviewed periodically on the basis of salary surveys of the best prevailing conditions of employment in that locality. So these are not international. They will be based on locally. One country will be different from another, but as they say here, they will give the best prevailing conditions of employment. Yeah. Another thing, tax exemption, salaries, grants, and allowances paid by the United Nations are normally exempted from income tax. Oh, income tax. I know I've said this earlier, and most people are saying, are you sure? Yes. when you're paid salaries, your salary is paid from the UN. It is exempted from the income tax. Other allowances and benefits you can be able to get, like child allowance, spouse allowance, secondary dependence allowance, language allowance, and danger pay is also applicable in this category. Holiday and leave, health insurance, and also you can be able to join their retirement pension. Now let's look at the next category. That would be the national professional officer. Staff members in these categories are recruited and paid on a local basis. You will be paid a salary according to the local salary scale. And as I've said, this scale is periodically reviewed and they try to offer the best prevailing conditions of employment in the locality. Salaries exempted from tax. Allowance includes child allowance, spouse allowance, secondary dependent allowance, danger pay, holiday and leave, health insurance, and also here you also have retirement benefits. And the last category here is the field service category. You are normally recruited internationally. You will receive a salary which is paid on the basis of the worldwide scale, and the benefits will take into account your dependents and the cost of living of where you are. So just as the professional and higher category, there is the base salary and then there's the post adjustment. And this is based on those conditions, like where the cost of living. And as they say here, as an example, you will find if you're in New York City, your post pay will be different if you are in Nairobi, Kenya, yeah, or in your any other country. So the calculation, you can be able to see the rate at the International Service Commission website. And the benefits equally the same. There is a lot of allowances, holidays, retirement benefits, and all that. Now, there's a disclaimer here. This information is provided to give a general overview of the United Nations conditions of service. The actual employment contract of the staff are based on the UN staff regulations and rules, which remain the definitive source of any legal and administrative interpretation. So this is just to guide you, but if you get a job there, it will be based on the contract that you have. Are we together? Are we together? Is it making sense? I want to go now to the last section. Yeah, one or two more sections, and then we can be able to finish up. Thank you very much. I can see Sospita. You're doing good. I really appreciate your comment right there. Daniel joining us in Nairobi. I can see we have ARFF Lifesaver Kenya all the way in Homa Bay. And the last comment here I have just joined in. Wonderful topic, Alexander Moredi. I know we were with you last week when we had the guest, Karibu Sana, yeah? So if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. And I'm glad that we are doing good. So let me go to this other section. Right here. The career, I think we'll look at career options. And we have also, I want to show you now how to apply. Right here on the website, they have given you a lot of information on how to apply. Okay. Today, what's happening? Let me share. Yes, this is a website. Good. So right now, I am in this section here saying how to apply. And on the website themselves, they give you a lot of information that will be valuable for you when you are applying here for the UN. So let me zoom in to give you the details. So how to apply. The process of applying for a United Nations job starts on this website. Once you have explored the jobs opening and selected a role that interests you and for which you have the required experience, qualifications, you can begin the process by selecting Apply Now on the job description. Now, on this page, you can find step-by-step instruction for applying, and that is the process that I want to share with you, the guidelines that you need to follow. And also we'll look at some of the information to do with assessment, examination, and tests. So the first thing is to find that job. So the application process, how it starts, you search for the job, you identify it, then you say you want to apply for it. So if there's, and I'm going to do a real demonstration, but let me just show you the steps. Then once you say apply, it will take you to their website, which is called Inspira, which is their HR gateway. Now on that point, now you will fill in the application. That's where you submit your application. Oh, even here it is. This will direct you to Inspira. So all UN jobs, secretariat jobs, you need to apply on Inspira. Once it takes you there, once you have filled in, so there are two sections to this. Depending with the job, you will fill in the job application, submit it, and then once you have submitted it, it will go for evaluation. Now, once it is being evaluated, it will just be showing under consideration on the portal. Once they have done that, they feel that you are qualified and you can go to the next step, then they will invite you for an assessment exercise. The assessment exercise would either be a written exam or other forms of a simulated exercise or a case study. You will be informed in advance of the time, type, and the length of the assessment. If based on the results of the assessment, you are considered good fit, you will then be shortlisted for the competency-based interview. So from there, now you go to the next step, which is competency-based interview. Now, the competency-based interview can take place either on the phone, video conferencing, or in person. You will be notified in advance the time, duration, and the means or the place for the interview. During the interview, they are mainly looking to learn more about you, your combination of skills based on the early experience. And then once they do that, they would do a review after the interview. Then they will say, if you're selected, then you are notified and you are rostered. Now, roster is a pool of candidates who are ready to be deployed for any jobs. Then after that, they will do their reference checking. Who did you put as your reference? Some security checks and all that. And then from there, you can be able to, voila, you get the job. So let me show you the application. How do you apply? How you create the application. I think this is where they now go step by step, where you even need to submit your CV, your cover letter, what you will be shown there. I like the fact that they actually give you some interview tips. Yeah, these are interview tips from them, or no, these are application tips before we go to the interview tips. Yeah, applying for a job in the US can be challenging, but extremely rewarding. With this in mind, we prepare 5 great tips for you to keep in mind when applying for this job. Number 1, choose the right job for you. Only apply for jobs that you are suited, and when you look at your strengths and your aspiration, they fit with that job. Don't just apply for the sake of applying. Yeah. Number 2, highlight your achievement. When it comes to describing your past experience, focus on what you have accomplished and achieved, as opposed to what you do on a daily basis. And let me just pause here and say, this is one of the reasons why when we are writing your professional CV, we focus more on your achievement rather than your responsibilities. You know, your responsibilities, these are the things that you're doing day in, day out. But employers are not interested with those activities because any other person in that position would still do that job. But achievements on this other side, they show what you're capable of, what you have done over and above what is expected. Yeah. So that is really important. And you can see the UN, they're even emphasizing more on that. Then when it comes to your motivation statements, you will need to provide a motivation statement to prove that you are the best candidate for the position. Now, when it comes to this motivation statement, think of your motivation statement as an opportunity to distinguish yourself from other job seekers by highlighting what makes you the best fit for that position. It should be brief, 3 to 4 paragraphs, and as targeted as possible for the position for which you are applying for. That is one of the other areas that will help you when you are doing the application, yeah, to do the motivation letter or statement. Research, prepare, and train for the interview. If you're called for an interview, train for the competency-based interview techniques by preparing a wide range of brief, real-life stories about your accomplishment. The structure for the answer should be situation, action, result. And there's a whole video I have done about the ASR. Sometimes it's known also as the STAR method, whereby competency-based is a way of asking to see how you behaved in the past, how you acted in the past is the best predictor of how you're going to act in future. So you need to bring in lots of real life experiences, and you answer when you ask, tell us a situation where you dealt with a angry customer. Tell us a situation where you had to maybe submit a project within a very tight deadline. So you need to talk about what was the situation. Number one, this and this happened. A, what is the action that you took? We had this deadline. There's this client who wanted this and this. The action I took, I talked to them. I did this. I prepared this. What did you do? And then what was the result from that action? The customer was calmed down. We were able to satisfy. We were able to submit the report in good time. All that. So there are real life situations that you need to prepare. So many, yeah. You never know what kind of question might come in that area, and that is a very good tip right there. Situation, action, result. Then apply for as many as you can, especially when you are targeting the ones that you're qualified for. When it comes to the interview, I think let me just talk about the interview. And there are 10 tips here they give, which are very, very important. Structure interview question can look like this, yeah? Tell us about a situation where you went over and above your manager's expectation. So think about what was the situation, what was the action, what was the result. Give us an example of a time when you used your problem-solving ability to resolve an issue. Tell us about a time where you had a number of demands being made on you at the same time. How did you deal with it? So that is what we are calling the competency-based interview. And I like how this is how I think I'd already mentioned here. These competency-based interviews, also known as behavioral interviews or criterion-based interviews, yeah? Such interviews are based on the concept that your past behavior and experience is the best indicator of your future performance. In other words, your history. Tell us a story about your talent, skills, abilities, knowledge, and actual experience in handling various situations. So think about that. What are the tips that they give right here on the website? Prepare a wide range of brief, real-life stories about your accomplishment. Be aware of the specific skills each story is illustrating. And remember to include the positive outcome or the lesson learned from each experience. Be ready to discuss your strength and your ability to learn from past experiences. Also think about how you could contribute to the work of the United Nations, and to be specific, the position you are applying for. Number 3, review the competencies mentioned in the job opening. All the job openings have some competencies they are listed. This will be probed in your interview. So your stories should show your skills in this competency area, yeah? These areas of competencies. You should be prepared to address positive results using these competencies, and also challenges you have had in each of these areas. Again, repeating, use that structure: situation, action, result. Share information you feel is appropriate and relevant. Listen to the question carefully. Keep to the point. Be as specific as possible. You'll be surprised how many people answer their own things in an interview outside what they're being asked. Yeah. Then do some research on competency-based or behavior-based interviews. There's a lot of information out there, actually, on this website, or not this way, on my channel, Daniel Mutuku. If you check interview questions or competency-based interview question, tons and tons of resources. Yeah. Learn how much you can do about the department and office that you're applying to work in, and practice, practice, practice. And that is one of the reasons why we do offer mock interview sessions, right? Now, I can see time is really moving. I don't know where time is heading to. So I want to do a quick demonstration on how you can search for a job. Then if there are any questions, I will be able to answer them, and we can call it a day. Today, I know it's a Thursday. Tomorrow is a holiday. We need to have some good rest as we prepare for the festivities, right? Yeah, I can see. Okay, there's one person joining us in Uganda. Karibu sana Ogole. Bruno, welcome. The final section. Let's do a quick job search, yeah? And this is where you need to go. Let me just reset. Now, on the website itself, there are several ways you can be able to look for a job. You can come here and say apply now. And when you say apply now, you can search based on the network. You can see all these are the different networks. You can look at the job family. You can look at the category if you're very specific on the category. Personally, I like looking at the duty station. And here I would say, let's say Nairobi. So I can just type here on the day and say Nairobi. Yeah, because it's not based on a country. The locations are the individual places. I mean, Nairobi, Kenya, I can put it there and then say search, and it will bring for me all the available jobs right now here in Nairobi. There's an evaluation officer. And here, the good thing, they can show you when it was posted. This one was posted today, and the deadline is May 11th. If I'm interested, I can go through and see. There's a monetary evaluation officer, again, posted today. Deadline is 8th. And you can see all this information. Let's look, for example, even before I go to the example, you can then also filter more. You can say, I'm more interested in information technology jobs. And the moment you click, only information technology jobs are showing up here. I'm only interested in fieldwork. So there's none for fieldwork and information technology. If I remove that, there's that section. Yeah, I can also filter with the categories or the levels. I know I'm more of an entry level. Can I look for P1 positions? Okay, there seem to be none. Yeah, have I clicked any other thing? Okay, good. So let me just clear all these. So I can clear that. Also, look here. You can, there are so many filters. You can check the ones that have been posted within the last 24 hours, 7 days, duty station, and all that. And you can just come here or search. Let me just search again, Nairobi. And it will bring me all the Nairobi positions. So, and you can see it's showing 73 that have been found right now. So if I look for one, and let's say this one, view job description. So I can read through. This is the briefing. I can see what the organization is all about. I can look at the responsibilities. What will I be doing? What are the competency? Remember, when you'll be interviewed, they'll be looking at professionalism. Another competency is communication. And another competency here is planning and organizing. And you can read through to see what is it that they're looking for. And then look for as many real life stories that you can use to explain these competencies. Look at the education, what they are looking for, specified. So here is high school diploma. I don't know if you can see. Let me try and zoom in a little bit to make it as accessible as possible. Yeah. So these are the competencies. Education. Here they are looking for high school diploma, but also there's the job specification. They want someone with some training in administrative services, finance, human resource, business management, personnel management, information is desirable. So you can also look at the experience. What are they looking for? The languages. Most of the languages here will be English and French, but in this case, they just want someone who is fluent in one of the languages. Yeah. There's the assessment, the special note. And by the time you read through and you feel like this is the job that I want, then you click apply. When you say apply, it takes you to, just a minute. When you say apply, it takes you to the Inspira portal. And now here on the Inspira, if you have an account, you can log in. If you don't have an account, you can create one, and then you will follow the process they have said. How do you go submit? I've done another video which actually takes you right into Inspira and how you apply. So actually look for that video. I'll post it in the description of the video. Down there, you can see how inside the Inspira looks like. It hasn't changed much, but the process is still the same. Is that okay? Okay, so allow me to pause there and come back and see if there are any questions. Inspira not working, sir. Kindly help. Unless you check with them. Now, Inspira is not by it's just owned by the UN. So if you have any challenges, try to contact them, create another account or something. Yeah. So that is what I would advise. Or you can't see that. Let me try and scroll. Let me remove your comment first. You can see there's this part where they say contact us. You can try click here, contact them, or create another account. Is that okay? Good. This is really helpful. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Josephine Kanyiva. Josephine Kanyiva. Really appreciate. And I think that has been my time for today. Unless there's any question, I'll be happy to answer any questions in regards to the UN jobs, the UN portal. I know it's a new portal. They changed about, is it a month or 3 months or something? I think the beginning of this year. So it's good for you to know how to navigate. Oh, there's another thing I've just remembered. Yeah. They also talk about this on their website. I think this should be the last thing. If there will be no comment, then we can be able to close it in. Good. Now, this is their website. Let me try to zoom out to reset. And at the bottom of the site, there's this bit called fraud alert. And many people really get duped when it comes to UN jobs. Please don't be scammed. Yeah. Try as much as possible to get the right information. If you haven't seen where I got this, if you go down to the website, there's this part called fraud alert. And the fraud alert, once you click on it, it takes you here. And it will tell you the different scams or what you need to do to be able to avoid being scammed. Yeah. They have even highlighted some of the maybe organizations that would want to take advantage of you. Yeah. So don't just read this. There's, I think, one other thing I really want to see. There's that bit which shows you how to avoid being scammed. Let me try and get it. Just a minute. Was it the same place? There's something. Where did I get it? Okay, no, I will not let it. Let me look for it. I think this is very, very important for you to know. Anyway, if we don't get to see it, then this was very important. I know this is very, very important. Good. I think here we are. It is under how to apply. Down here, there's a warning about the schemes and scams. And yes, there's something here which really got my attention, and that is why I thought it's important for you to know about it. Fake vacancies announcement has been something that has repeatedly been happening, and all you need to know after you have seen a job on any website, confirm that it is on careers.un.org. Some of the organizations that really are trying to scam people, you can see how they say the schemes which have no connection whatsoever with the United Nations or the United Nations systems of organization takes many forms. New schemes are appearing with increasing frequency. A sample of such employment scams include United Analyzer, falsely claiming to be supported by United Nations. There's another one, National Awareness Program on HIV and the Mutual Partnership Program, both falsely claiming to be associated with United Nations Secretariat. There's another one here calling itself International Government Organization, falsely linking themselves to UNHR, UNESCO, and IMF. United Nations Lottery, not in fact connected to United Nations. Yeah. United Nations Organization Anti-Terrorism / Money Laundering Unit. It is not in fact connected to the United Nations. There's another one here called the United Nations NGO Committee for Social Development. In fact, not connected to the United Nations. Falsely advertising job openings and offering employment. Yeah, so you need to be very, very careful. Yeah, falsely communication, falsely stating that they are issued by actual United Nations, such as Joint United Nations Program for blah blah blah. So these ones are not connected. Yeah, so you need to be aware and how to stay safe and not be scammed by these people. Is that okay? Yeah, I think that is it for today. Thank you very much. I really appreciate. I can see Abdi Hakim saying thanks a lot. Learned a lot from you every week once. Okay, thank you very much. I really appreciate. Next week, I'll be looking at how do you create a personal brand. Yeah, especially while looking for a job. How do you create a personal brand? Yeah, both online and offline. That will be our discussion for tomorrow, next week on Thursday, 7:30. Otherwise, I'm really happy that you have joined me up to this point. I will sign up. I would want to know in your comments, what is the one thing, what is your greatest takeaway from today's session? We have 3 minutes to go. So I will get to know what your takeaway has been. Please type it in. I'll wait. I will be reading them out loud and then we can call it a day. 3 minutes to go till 8:30. As I told you, keeping time will be one of my greatest strengths this year. I'm glad no technical issues has happened today, so I'm happy. Great. I can see someone saying, hey, thank you very much. I don't know how to pronounce it. Nobi. Thank you. I can see Jasmine saying, it was really, really helpful. Thank you very much. Diane, you're talking about the speeder not working, but I've just told you. Abdullah, you're saying you're learning something new every week. I really appreciate that. Anas, Mustafa, very valuable session. Thank you very much. You have built my confidence. Thank you very much, Daniel. I really appreciate that. Oh, it is good sometimes when I read this and I see people are getting value from the session. It's also fulfilling, and I'm glad that it's not that I wasted my time or I wasted your time. At least there's something that you've gotten out of the session. I really appreciate you hanging in there with me, and until next week, I'm out.